Respected Professor Sampadanand Mishra ji, Professor Vinod Solanki ji, Pramini ma'am, Vice Principals, Deepa Vahi ma'am, Vidyarthi sir, Rachna Khemka ji, parents, teachers, and my dear students. I'd like to begin today with a story. Centuries ago, a great artist was commissioned to paint scenes from the life of Krishna for a temple in Udupi. He began with Krishna's childhood, obviously, and for this, he needed a young model whose face reflected divine innocence. One day, while he was walking the streets of Udupi, he saw a group of children playing there, and among them, he saw a 12-year-old boy named Anmol. His eyes sparkled with innocence, his face glowed with purity, and his walk had a quiet grace. This is Krishna incarnate, the artist thought to himself. Anmol finally posed for the portrait of young Krishna, and once the painting was complete, he was generously rewarded and he returned home. किसी ने कहानी पहले सुनी है? नहीं सुनी है ना? Many years passed and the artist had aged, but one final painting remained. The painting of Kansa Vadha, where he needed a model for Kans, the symbol of betrayal and darkness. Searching for such a face, he wandered in Udupi again, and he came across on the streets a very disheveled man who was involved in a violent brawl, and his name was Durvinith. His face was hardened, his eyes were clouded with despair. He was the very image of fallen grace, and the artist persuaded him with much effort कि भाई मान जाओ, please pose for Kansa. Now one day, while working on the painting, Durvinith was just posing ना. Durvinith का काम तो खाली pose करना था. Durvinith was just posing, and he caught sight of the earlier portraits, especially the one of young Krishna, and he stared at it for a long time, and his eyes started brimming with tears. Suddenly, he turned to the artist and whispered, "Don't you recognize me, uncle? I'm Anmol, the same boy who had once, long time ago, posed as young Krishna." And he fell at the great artist's feet. See, this haunting story is not about Anmol. It is about all of us. With all the refinement that you have, my dear students, a Durvinith you will never be. Never, never, never. You're so refined. But it's about the innocence that we are born with. What can happen if that light within, the light that Sri Aurobindo calls the psychic being, is not sufficiently nurtured, nourished, and grown within us? Anmol did not lose his way because he was bad. He was inherently and potentially divine, as all of us are when we are young. For Anmol also had within him the psychic fire, the psychic being, the soul. He lost his way because he grew up without guidance, without a connection to his deepest self. You see, we are often captivated by the butterfly's transformation. है ना? We look at the caterpillar and say, wow, the caterpillar has turned into a butterfly. But we don't realize that while the butterfly can experience this change only once in its life, only once, we humans are blessed with an even greater power, the ability to transform ourselves at any moment and in countless ways Countless times in our life, we can undergo this transformation. Just as the butterfly breaks free from its cocoon, we too can rise beyond our limitations and create a new version of ourselves, not just once, but every single day through the choices we make. This is the divine's gift to us, an opportunity for boundless growth. At St. M.R. Jaipuria School, Gomti Nagar, we have tried our level best to fulfill our dharma, our sacred duty as an educational institution. We have tried to expose you all to all that is Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, all that is true, good, and beautiful. Because the presence of Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram in your environment helps your soul, helps your psychic being to flower out and manifest through your physical, vital, and mental instruments. We have strived to help you transform your physical being through our robust sports and physical education regime into a body that is strong, agile, supple, and full of life. We have strived to transform your vital being through music, dance, drama, art, poetry, and other activities into one that feels deeply, expresses freely, that transforms into a vital being that is heightened, deepened, and widened. We have strived to help you transform your mental being through a carefully designed academic program that tickles your rigor, illuminates your mind with clarity, and helps you grow in knowledge. Through silence time, we have introduced you, if only a little, to the vast stillness within by exposing you repeatedly to various spiritually oriented speakers. We have attempted to awaken your psychic being, inviting it to flower and manifest through your outer instruments, physical, vital, and mental. But this is not enough to keep the innocent Anmol alive within you. We call ourselves a school of conscious transformation. Why? Because alongside preparing you for a worldly success, we have introduced you to a higher aim, a deeper truth. The world will tell you that the purpose of education is to get a good job, earn well, lead a comfortable life. And yes, what they're telling you is absolutely true. Nothing wrong in it. It is very important to lead a good life, to earn well, to do well. We must put in our best and sincerest efforts to enhance our living standards. But if we stop there, we risk losing the Anmol inside us on our way. All we have to do is marry this outer aim of leading a great life with a higher purpose. Both have just got to be married together. And for this reason, your school repeats with you several times a day the powerful mantra of the mother regarding the higher aim of life. And I quote the mother, "There is a divine will that wants to manifest itself in physical life. Our aim is to discover that divine will and to work for its manifestation where? In physical life. You don't need to become an ascetic or a swami. You don't need to give up the world. You simply need to lead a conscious and purposeful life where Anmol, the Anmol inside you, continues to be always connected to his highest self within and continues to transform himself consciously into a perfect instrument of the Divine's will as he pursues his material and physical goals in life. Heartiest congratulations to each one of you. May you always be fearless, be limitless, and may you embrace your power to transform every single day. You've worked hard. You've been burning the midnight oil while your mothers were making endless cups of chai and coffee to keep you going. Your teachers were always there, answering your doubts even at odd hours. Your parents, your grandparents were silently praying for you. And while you studied in peace, our soldiers stood guard at the borders, protecting the nation and keeping you safe. To all of them, our teachers, your families, our soldiers, and our beloved Bharat Mata, I offer my deepest gratitude and salutations. My gratitude to you, my dear students, for being a part of the Jaipuria family. We are proud of you, very, very, very proud of you. Tears brim out of my eyes when I hear you all speak, because what you've grown into, it's like the blossoming of a beautiful bud into an unbelievable flower. We've seen you grow from these little kids running into school into these graceful, beautiful, empowered students ready to go into 11th and then 12th and then college and then into the wild, wild world. So, wishing you success, joy, light on every path that you walk. Thank you. Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. Thank you.